Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Martians and aliens. My name's Alan, and welcome to Mars, the second Genesis. Okay guys, we've got the second part from Sol 134, and the images you're going to see were captured with the pair of Mastcams. So I would recommend you to go back and look at part one. I'll put the link in the description and you can go and have a wee look at that. This is the image where our anomalies were found, and most of them are way at the back. I'll just pan through the image once again, just to give you a wee reminder of what we're looking at. A lot of perfectly formed stones here, guys. And I'm just curious about this. That looks like NASA's mapped sand to a wee wall. It looks straight up and down. It definitely doesn't look right. This part here, where most of the anomalies were found, this looks like a sort of valley. You can down into a valley, and I think it's a wee bit further away than you think. See, the stuff at the front is heavily obfuscated, and they spend a lot of time censoring the stuff at the front. So most of the anomalies you'll find is at the back. That's what I found. But it takes a wee bit of work to get them into a workable condition, because as you can see, they're very small, but there's a lot of great anomalies here, which you're going to see. So, as I say, guys, that's what we're going to be working with. And yes, that is the colour of the Mars sky. It's not red. Okay, guys, for our first anomaly, do you spot it? Or do you spot them? I'll give you a clue. 2 doors. Do you spot them now? No? Okay. Check this out. That's our first door. Now look the way it's symmetrical. The curve. And we've got this line that goes through that onto this. So that tells me these may be the same structure. And this looks like a second door or a window. We can see it's triangular and hollow. And we've also got some sort of marking at the back here. And at the back here, we can see there's a square portion. And if we look here, we've got some sort of marking at the bottom as well. And if you look at this block in the background, you can see it's square at the top. And we've got some sort of a bit of circular tubing sticking out of this. Not bad for a planet that's supposed to be a barren, cold desert. Barren, cold desert, my arse. For our next anomaly, looks like a wee motorbike helmet. I'll just zoom in and let you have a look. Obviously, we've got a square hole, and we've got some sort of markings on it, but you can see it's like half a sphere. And we've got some sort of line here. So it could be part of a structure, could be part of a sculpture. It could be a motorbike helmet. So what I'll do is I'll start on the left-hand side as usual. You can have a wee look and see what you think yourself, but there's tons in this. I think, see when you see rock that looks carved, it's a bit of a dead giveaway. Okay, let's take a wee bit of an inventory, shall we? Let's look at the bottom here, shall we? We'll zoom in a wee bit. You can see some carvings on this. We've got a triangular piece here with some carvings, and some carvings, and some more carvings. No, look, there's a carved piece. And here. Obviously NASA's censored this, but they've left some for us. And this piece here. I don't believe these are normal rocks. You can see they're carved. They could be structures, could be just sculptures. That looks like a wee face on it, you know, 2 eyes, a nose and a mouth. This here. That's quite an intact sculpture there. And here. If you look at this section, this comes up and comes round like that. Now I'm going to zoom in here and let you see this. You can see that's quite an elaborate piece of carving. That is nice. And then it comes round. It's all the one part, and it comes round, and then it slowly splits into sections. And then we've got this arcs round, and this arcs round here to this section at the top, which looks quite elaborately carved. And this almost looks like a roof. If we look closely at the sand, this looks as if this is carved and it comes down, and this is part of the roof, and it comes down onto this. So this could be one structure. And you can see this at the back. Here, this looks almost sculpted. I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, look at this in a square. See where the different focal planes are in between it. That's where you're going to find the most anomalies. That's where I find them. Just where one focal plane stops and another is at the back. Maybe the software or whatever seems to miss some bits and you get some juicy stuff in there. But this is absolutely stunning. And if you study it closely, you can actually see these bits are all joined. And if you look at this bit at the bottom, I'll try and zoom in and let you see. Look at that. The craftsmanship of these Martians are absolutely astounding. I mean, I've looked at this, processed it, enhanced it, and been looking at that a lot, and every time I look at it, I see something different. But the more I look at it and the more I study it, I think this is one structure, the way that arcs round. Oh, and by the way, guys, all the anomalies studied in this episode, I'm going to put it in my Google Drive. I'll put the link in the description. Go get them. They'll all be in the one folder. It's just one RAF folder. You can download them all at the one time, full resolution, and you can study them to your heart's content. And this thing, you don't actually see this. If you look at this in 2D, it just looks a mess. But see when you look at it in 3D, and what anomaly is this thing here? What in God's name is that? the first thing you can see, there's a sort of oblong hole. It's obviously elaborately carved. But what it is, I don't know. At first I thought maybe it was a wee boat, some toy. Now, this one, if you think that's weird, what the hell is that? I mean, could that be a rock? Doubt it. It's these wee spheres that caught my eye. I'll zoom in a bit and let you see. And this almost looks like a wee creature, but obviously it's not. I think personally it's a roof of a structure. You can see the markings here. Now, I tried to bring these out as much as possible, but I don't dodge and burn. But you can actually see how elaborately carved this is, and you can see the ridge of the roof. It seems to have a triangular back on it with a ridge, and this is carved. And this piece here. So that's a pretty weird one for the books. And this one, the words cyborg comes to mind, cyborg head. I think some cyborg lost its head. But if you look at this, I think it's a bit of take. We seem to have some sort of pipe and some mechanism there, 2 holes. As you can see, this is not just your run-of-the-mill standard rock. Whatever it is, it seems carved. It doesn't seem as if it would be formed by natural erosion. Our next anomaly is this here, and I'll zoom in and pan through for you. And as you can see, like the other one on the hill, there is a lot of anomalies here. Now we'll start with this half sphere sticking out the ground here. And we've got this here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 slots in it. Get this with some sort of markings. And this here. We'll get this thing. You can see the thing at the top as well. It continues across to here. But this is the main anomaly. As you can see, the way it's formed, it seems to be chopped up as if it's brickwork. And the same at the front. And we've got this carved piece. Looking at this and this here and what the sand's hiding, I would say this is one structure which NASA's conveniently put the CGI sand in. The enhancement in the processing has brought some of the lines out. You can see here, see that? We can see this wee blue sphere as part of this. And this here is part of that. So it all seems to be the one thing that all joins together. So I would say that's one structure. Actually, the thing that drew my attention to it was this here. Looked like a wee animal. On further inspection, I saw it was part of I would imagine it's a structure. Okay, this is a wee bit further along in the panorama, and again, it looks a bit of a mess in 2D. Let's start at the back this time. Well, wait a wee minute. We're getting ahead of ourselves, or I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll do the customary pan through. Pretty cool, eh? Okay, let's look at the back first. We'll examine this here. Now this looks to me like part of a structure. Now, this could be part of the same thing. If you look at this, it could be flat against the wall. Because these anomalies are way at the back, there's no a lot of parallax between the two images. So it's not as easy to work out whether something's flat against a wall or laying down. But I would say these are kind of flat, and it comes up. It could be a Martian fence. This here, to me, looks like a carved roof. And this thing at the front. And the main anomaly is this. Almost looks as if there's been an explosion inside and it's blew outwards. As we can see, looks like a wee ear or appendage. And we've got these two bits as well. And it looks kind of carved. You just look at that. That's definitely not a rock. I mean, I don't know any rock that can do that. And if you look at this bit up front here, you can see it's split in the centre and it is symmetrical. You know, it joins onto this. So this whole thing, if you study the image, you can see this is all the one thing. So it may be the roof of a structure. And we've got all this at the front. And I shall pan through and let you see. This is all decorative carving. Look at that. I mean, honestly, if you think that's a rock, you need your head examined. You need to go and get your eyes tested to start with, because these are not normal rocks. Look at that there. What can I say? It's an anomaly. I would say these are structures, guys. I think what's happened is NASA has raised the ground plane and it looks like there's something buried in the sand. But I think NASA's seen the full thing. And this, to me, looks like ornate roofs of structures or parts of structures. Could it be they're genuinely buried in the sand? Yes. Is it probable? Not likely. This one is the only one that was captured by the Mastcam, and sometimes, although they're lower resolution, sometimes it picks up small stuff next to the camera, and I would say this is maybe about 1/2 inch. It looks hollow, and we've got these ornate markings on it. So I've no idea what it could be. It definitely looks anomalous, and it's got that wee pointy bit there. So it looks as if that's a square and that's a square with sort of ornate markings on it. And as I say, it's hollow. So this is a wider view of one of the anomalies or series of anomalies we've already looked at. So this is a wider view. This is the whole thing. I'll pan through it left to right and we can have a wee look and see what's going on here. As I say, we've seen this bit here. So this piece here could be the roof of another structure. It could be part of this. But if you look at this again, you can see it is different. And if you look at this, and this looks like wee pipes sticking out. And this here, you can see it's got some sort of decorative bits on it. That looks like a hand. There's the thumb. In fact, that could be, that definitely looks, there's the thumb at the back, right? That's the thumb muscle. And 1, 2, 3 fingers. Now, Martians may have 3 fingers and a thumb. It looks as if it's holding on to something. So if you want my opinion, I would say it's a wee Martian hand. But when you look at this as a whole, you can see it's got a pattern to it. And I would say that's maybe 2 rows of structure, roofs. This bit of the corner here, you can closely see that. I mean, look at the colours. You can obviously see that's a botch job that's been done. How can sand stick to something like that? You can clearly see that that's straight up and down and sand sticks to it. I don't think so. This here looks square. We've got the stuff at the back. And we've got this wee bit here. Okay guys, this one here has got so much stuff in it. I'll just pan through and you can have a wee nosy yourself. The main anomaly is this. And this. And this. And this. And this. So let's start at this side and we'll take a wee look at the anomalies. I mean, this definitely looks sculpted. Look at this stuff here. And this is hollow. We've got this. And there's this as well. A couple of wee things on it. But if you look at these, you can see they're intelligently sculpted. And this looks like maybe the top of your structure, maybe windows there. If you look at the shape and the way it's shaped, I really don't think that's rock. And this at the back. This, it looks as if it's got 2 holes in it. And this rock here, it's got a bit of an appendage sticking out. Does this need explaining, guys? Let's start with the back. We have a symmetrical, triangular sort of thing. Looks like a roof sticking out the sand. And look at the so-called sand here. So I would say that's a roof. Then we've got this thing, which is obviously carved. And we've got this. This reminds me of something like a jar. One of these ornate jars sticking out the sand. And this pointy thing, whatever it is. And we've got this ornate thing sticking out the sand as well. This could be a carving, could be part of a roof. And if you look here, you can see a line in the sand where this is. So below the sand, we have a straight line. So I would say these are part of a structure. And here we have another one, a series of blocks. So I'll start from the left to the right. I'll let you see this. Okay, what have we got here? Your guess is as good as mine. At the back here, I think this is structures and this is windows. We've got what I think is a domed roof. And if you look closely at that, you can see it's joined onto this. And we've got some ornate carving we've got this fans out. You can see it's like sections there, and it's attached to this, which is, it's like almost like a petal-like appearance, and it goes down to here. Maybe a bit's broken off here, and we can see this is attached. This could be another part of a roof, and we can see this comes along, and we've got this ornate sort of carving here. And at the front, we seem to have a flat, maybe a roof. It could be a vehicle. This could be wheels. And we've got this wee semicircle thing here. And for our last anomaly, do you see it geeking out? Yeah, it's there. Right, we'll start at this side. Tell me that's no the roof of a structure. I don't know what it is, but we seem to have maybe windows here. But this is definitely not natural erosion. And it seems to be attached to this. And we've got this part here. Now, it looks like a wee alien sticking out, kicking out of the rock there. Maybe that's its two eyes and its nose, a wee hat. But I think it's the roof of a structure, and I think it's the same structure as this. If you look at this here, and then follow this along, it attaches to this. So this could be a structure below the sand. And we've got this here, which again looks ornate. And it could be part of the same structure. It may not be. So guys, that wraps it up for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.